Hey, everybody. Hey, welcome to this latest episode of Movies Merica. Spoiler warning. Yes, it's going to get all spoilery in here. So just to warn you ahead of time, okay? The expiration date is way past due on tonight's movie, The Machine, that I will be getting very spoilery for you. So you're going to get spoiled rotten when it comes to Bert Kreischer's movie, The Machine. Absolutely. Okay. So just know what you're in for. Okay. Now, if you want to be that person, and that's perfectly fine, where the first time you see this movie, in a way, is watching my episode about The Machine, Movies Merica, spoiler warning, you definitely can do that. Hey, that is totally up to you. All right. But yeah, so again, I just want to welcome my fellow movie maniacs. Yes, there's one of them right there, Willem Dafoe, and my fellow freedom-fueled film fanatics. Okay, and like I said, I'm going to be going over The Machine with Bert Kreischer. It's got Mark Hamill. It's got a number of Jimmy Tatro is in that. Who's not exactly a household name yet, but he plays a young Bert Kreischer. And Bert Kreischer is a very famous comedian. Maybe you don't know him, but trust me, he's very famous. Okay. So before we get too far into our little shenanigans over here, let me set the mood.
In a world where the number of movies available is great, but many are so bad, you'll learn a new definition of hate. One man sifts and reviews through the movie sludge. One man will be the movie cop, jury, and judge. He goes by many names, but you know him by Movies Merica.
Yes, are you ready to rock? Right, in this stadium here, we'll be rocking your faces off, and we're melting faces here on Movies Merica. Spoiler warning with The Machine, yes. But I do have to let you know that this will be an abbreviated episode here because I am on call for another gig here, and so just in case, not to tempt fate for too long, I'm going to have to abbreviate this episode here tonight, okay? Because you never know. I could be called to the Batcave at any time. Yes, okay. So the Batcave is that way, I think. Or is it that way? I don't know. All I know is I have to hit a couple of piano keys, and then this secret panel opens up, and then... Yes, okay. So, hey, just want to let you know that you can live chat like my man Trevor is doing in Rumble. Okay, so if you're watching this on Rumble, go ahead and you can get into the live chat. There's a Your Message Here field there. You can type in any live chat you want. Okay, and you can live chat stuff like, hey, hey Van, check, talk about this part of The Machine, or hey, I really like this actor or this actress or something like that, or hey, this movie reminds me of this movie. Just anything that comes to mind. Go crazy, okay? Go nuts, okay? And Beer Drinking Trav, speaking of which, he says, damn, tuned in to see if he'd be shirtless for this. Guess you're not The Machine. Yeah. I'd like to keep you as a friend there, Trevor, and so that's why I'm not shirtless. Okay, so and I don't want to gross out the remaining parts of the world. Okay. I'm not trying to be down on myself, all right, or anything like that, but I probably could eat a few less donuts, a little less chocolate milk, that kind of thing, so, and I am not even going to be that guy that says, hey, I'm big and beautiful. No. Okay. Now I'm not like the fattest person, but I'm definitely not like 8% body fat. Okay. So, hey, but last year I did this 75 hard workout, which I would highly recommend. It's tough. It's hard. It's like this is in the name, but it's a 75 hard workout last year for 2.5 months, 75 days. Okay. And I lost like 35 pounds in 2.5 months. Okay. Now I was able to maintain that until holiday season 2022, in which I gained 15 pounds of that back. Okay. Yeah. Okay. And then it just went on vacation. I probably gained another 10 pounds of it back. So yeah, I guess who's probably going to be on 75 Hard again very, very soon. Yours truly. Yep, absolutely. But yeah, so where was I? Oh, live chat. Yes. A subject that actually has to do with this live stream. So yeah, you can live chat on Rumble and you can live chat on YouTube if you're on there. And if you live chat me on YouTube, if you put in a kind of comment, I can show your comment on the screen. Okay. So if you want that kind of notoriety, okay, you can live chat on YouTube. But really, the cool place to watch my live stream, the coolest place is Rumble, okay? Because Rumble is that awesome, cool house on Halloween, that hands you out the full-size Snickers bars. YouTube is quickly becoming like the censorship version of that house that like hands out dental floss on Halloween. That house, the ones where, the house that gets TP'd and egged, during Halloween trick-or-treating. So don't be that guy. Yeah, Beer Drinking Tribe, have you heard of 8-minute abs? Well, I've come up with 7-minute abs. Like that. There's something about Mary. I like that reference right there. 7-minute abs. Now, what was it? Now, Harlan Williams played like the psycho killer in that scene, and obviously he was talking to Ben Stiller. And yeah, so Harlan Williams as a psycho was like, have you ever heard of 8-minute abs? Well, I've come up with 7-minute abs. And so, yeah, that's what it was. It was a Harlan Williams like, I'm going to come out with 7-minute abs. And then Ben Stiller trying to be smart is like, well, it's going to work until someone comes out with 6-minute abs. And then Harlan Williams freaks out. What? What the fuck? No, you can't get a good ab workout in 6 minutes. What are you talking about? So, and now I want to watch There's Something About Mary all over again. So, absolutely. Yeah, Beer Drinking Trap. I see that. Yeah, oops, not showing up. So sent twice right there. So yeah, I'm not sure what's up with it. It shows twice now, but not a big deal. Okay, so I'm just gonna call you Trevor 2 times. Okay, Trevor 2 times. And so yeah, so we got live chat going on here. And like I said, it's gonna be an abbreviated show, but not 6, 7 little chipmunks sitting on a tree. Yeah, what's that time with? 5 little monkeys jumping on a bed. One fell off and broke his head. Something like that. Is that the old nursery rhyme or something like that? So yeah. I didn't have much to do when I was a kid, so we used to have to like say and recite stupid things like that. But hey, all right. So okay. So yeah, The Machine. Okay. So I think what I'm going to do first here is normally I would just kind of go through the synopsis of the movie, but since I kind of had to cut it short here tonight. Because of I was just going to kind of go over some points about The Machine that I liked. And again, as I'm doing this, feel free to live chat with me, okay? Because I don't want to just talk to myself, And thank God Trevor's here, so that I've got some feedback, someone to talk to right there. So Trevor is a soldier, man. I'll tell you, he's a champ. Okay. He's always here and he's always supporting me there. So absolutely. Okay. So now that I'm done kissing Trevor's butt, let's move on. Okay. So yeah. So The Machine here. So now obviously since this is the spoiler warning show, I'm going to assume you guys have all seen this. And I mean, the first thing that I liked about this movie is that it just had this hard edge to go along with the comedy. Okay. Now the beginning of the movie, it starts out just kind of trying to familiarize people with who Bert Kreischer is and where this whole machine story came from and how he became a phenomenon and that kind of thing. And so it just wants to, warm me up with that, kind of get you up to speed as far as like what you're about to watch. But then, excuse me. So then you've got you get into the action and the director wanted this to have a hard edge, and so as part of giving it a hard edge here, he wanted it to have like a kind of a gothic kind of Russian choir kind of soundtrack, but also have like some hard hitting like crunchy synth music to go along with it to really build up the tension. And the director's name is Peter Atencio. And he effectively gives this thing a hard edge. And so, like I mentioned in my spoiler-free review of The Machine that came out on Sunday, and and if you haven't watched it yet, go ahead and watch it on YouTube and Rumble. My spoiler-free review of The Machine. I was saying that this movie reminded me of like 48 Hours back in 1982, and Beverly Hills Cop and Bad Boys. Those kind of movies where they're technically a comedy, and they're mostly a comedy, but they just have that hard edge, where there's some stakes and some blood and some violence and that kind of thing. So just good old-fashioned, hard-hitting, kinetic energy and action to them. And so the Machine has this, has that right there. So that's what makes it entertaining. And I think that's what's going to make it entertaining for people that have no idea who Bert Kreischer is and has no idea of the story of the Machine, okay, which is a true story, okay? I'm taking Bert Kreischer's word for that, okay? And so because of that hard-edged action and excitement, even if you don't know Bert Kreischer and the Machine story, you're going to be entertained. You just have to give the movie a chance. And I would highly recommend you give it a chance because as of like this time right now, this movie has made about $4 at the box office, okay? It is getting killed by The Little Mermaid. Yeah, so it's not The Little Mermaid, it's The Little Mermaid, okay? So, yes. And Little Mermaid is killing it at the box office. Okay, not so much overseas, okay? The overseas doesn't like The Little Mermaid for some reason. I can't imagine why. So, but domestically, they like it better. But anyway, but the Machine, it wishes it was making the money that The Little Mermaid was making. And I'm wondering if maybe it has something to do with like, a lot of the anti-Russia, pro-Ukraine sentiment or something like that, because like, I get it. Okay, Putin is a piece of shit. I get it, and he shouldn't have invaded Ukraine. I don't know how everyone feels about that. I don't think he should have invaded Ukraine, but, as a lot of people's, craving to virtue signal, they kind of take the Russia hate a little too far where they start banning things that have nothing to do with the war in Ukraine, banning things that were definitely weren't the people that said, hey, let's invade Ukraine. Like they're banning Tchaikovsky music and the Nutcracker sweets and other Russian things, Russian dressing, that kind of thing, like the makers of Russian dressing were the one that were whispering in Putin's ear going, hey, everybody, hey, we should invade Ukraine. Okay. All right. And then if you invade Ukraine, Putin, free Russian dressing for life. Like what? So I think there might be a little bit of that overcorrection. You're trying a little too hard to ban everything Russian because of the Russian-Ukraine war. And so if anything even smells like Russia, and the Machine does because it has to do with the Russian mob back in the 1990s, okay, and currently, I guess, not a whole lot of people are going to see this movie right there. So unfortunate timing for Bert Kreischer and the Machine. Now, I think the vibe I'm getting is that they filmed this a while back, and they've been kind of just sitting on it because the whole Ukraine thing, okay, the Ukraine war and everyone with their blockbuster video flags up in their bios and all that stuff. So they've been kind of sitting on it, and I think they finally got to the point where like, okay, we got to release this thing, right? Now, I don't know why they had to release it now. They could have waited. I mean, until like August or September. There might be a reason that I'm not privy to why they decided to release it right now. Like right smack dab in the middle of the blockbuster summer movie season. I don't know, and going up against The Little Mermaid. Okay, and then you got Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse coming out this week. So they sandwiched it in between Fast X and Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse coming out, okay? And then on the same weekend that The Little Mermaid came out. So from a movie release standpoint, I don't think it's the smartest unless there's some mitigating circumstance that I'm not aware of. But who knows, okay? With as far as like them releasing it right now, exactly. Okay, so all right. Hey, you know what? And if I'm a little delayed with the videos here, I'm just going to blame it on my internet connection. It may or may not be my internet connection, but I'm going to blame it on something that can't speak up for itself. So just run with that, okay?
Crash and burn, huh, Mav?
Yeah. So if anybody doubts
Fuck
that,
you.
Yes. Okay. So then, and again, hey, just to remind everybody, live chat with me, man. Get in YouTube, get in Rumble, and live chat your butts off. How often do you get a chance to show your creative side by getting in here? And you can give me crap in here, give me all kinds of shit in here, like, man, you suck, man, you suck, and all that. And you know what? Hey, to that, I just again, there we go. Okay. All right. So then, some other points to this movie that I liked was that I liked Bert Kreischer and like the humbling, self-deprecating, hilarious performance that he puts on, because he holds nothing back. Okay. Now he holds nothing back in his comedy, because one of Bert Kreischer's calling cards, probably his most famous calling card, is he takes his shirt off all the time, like Trevor was talking about here earlier. With me having my shirt off in this, and which I am not going to do. Speaking of Trevor, I eat pieces of shit like you for breakfast. You eat pieces of shit? You eat pieces of shit? Gonna roll in the hay. I just may. By the bay. Yeah, Happy Gilmore. I love it. But yeah, Bert Kreischer, he just lets it all hang out there, talk about his gut, not his dick. Okay, so hey, you know what? Don't worry, okay? But he puts it out there emotionally and physically. He's got some emotional parts in this movie here where, he realizes that he's not in shape, that he's fat, okay? And not PHAT fat, not pretty hot and tempting, just fat, okay? So he knows that he's fat, but he's self-deprecating, and he laughs all about it. And so and they're always joking about it in this movie, how he's got man titties, he's got moobs, so they're always talking about his doughy man titties in this. So again, another way that he's just just letting it all hang out there, including his man titties, I guess. And he's also not afraid to put out all his personal failures out there as well, because now, I don't know enough about Bert Kreischer to know if this is true, but he talks about in this movie that he went out and he was on drugs, or he was drinking, and he went out. He was driving around with his daughter, and his daughter was driving, and the cops pulled him over, and she got in trouble because I think she was like she wasn't 16, and she was like, I think at the age where she had she was like driver permit age. And so she was okay as long as she had a parent in the car. One caveat to that is the parent has to be sober. Okay. I think I'm remembering that correctly. So she got in trouble. He got in trouble. And, obviously as a dad, that's just terrible, right? You don't want your kid looking down on you, because obviously his daughter obviously thought he was a piece of shit, because of that whole situation right there. And so, and again, if that's a real life thing with Bert Kreischer, kudos to him, for putting that out there. Another thing that I liked about this is Jimmy Tatro. Jimmy Tatro is an actor that I hadn't seen in a whole lot of stuff, but he plays the young Bert Kreischer from back in the 90s, the Bert Kreischer that doesn't have moobs and doesn't have a big old gut, okay, quite yet. And he does a fantastic job. He's got the voice. He's got a voice that you could believe is the voice that Bert Kreischer would have, and he's just got that frat boy mentality. Speaking of the frat boy mentality, I guess Jimmy Tatro has played frat boy characters before, and probably a lot, because before he took the role in this, he didn't want to take this role because he didn't want to do another frat boy role. But he read the script, and he definitely liked what he saw there. And so he just, he wanted to get in there. And they asked him if he wanted to do the movie. He was like, yeah. So, yeah. So he was good in that. And so, check out Jimmy Tatro. I think he's going to be getting more roles coming up here sometime soon right there, probably because of this movie. And because he's got charisma, and he's definitely he brings energy to this movie here. All right. So, hey, before we move on here, I just want to let you guys know all about our tdpn.locals.com website. Yes. Okay. So this is our website where we have all our fantastic, electrifying, kinetic, mind-stopping, mind-blowing, not mind-stopping, we'll go mind-blowing content like videos and blogs and articles and the like, okay, about everything like movies and entertainment, celebrities, music, fantastic drink recipes from Sean. I got hot button issues, got politics, okay? You got it all, okay? And you're going to hear it in a perspective that you won't hear anywhere else, okay? I mean, because you're going to read it and be like, whoa, I know I would not get this anywhere else, okay? So thank God I went to tdpn.locals.com. TDPN as in Til Death Podcast Network, okay? And as you can see from the banner at the bottom there, if you put in promo code TDPN in the promo code field, you get 1 month free membership, okay? And one of the things that you can take part in at tdpn.locals.com if you're a member, or if you put in this TDPN promo code to get 1 month free, is you can take part in what I call Movies Merica Mad Libs, okay? And the quick and short of it is that I wrote part of a movie script, okay? I wrote the very beginnings of a movie script, okay? And where you come in is you get to finish up and help finish up the movie script, okay? And so I've created 3 characters for the script, okay? And I've written like the first few lines, and I've told you like where the scene takes place and that kind of thing. But I've written the first few lines to kind of give you the flavoring, okay? To let you know what we're talking about in this screenplay, you know, just say, because it's a raunchy screenplay or raunchy characters, that kind of thing. And so now what you get to do to your heart's content to let your imagination run wild, okay, is you can add new lines to the script, okay? So you continue the script with your lines, and then myself, Ian, and Sean, we are going to play those 3 characters in this script, okay? And we don't know which one of us is going to play which character in this, okay? And so we're going to, like, you know, just pick out of a hat and decide who's going to play what, okay? Now, picture that. Now, we have to read what you write. Just let the possibilities flow, okay? Just think of all the possibilities that you can do that, because we got to be like Ron Burgundy. We have to read anything you put up there, okay? We have to do it.
No, God, please, no, no.
Yep, that's what I'm saying. I know, but it's a chance for you to make us read what you write there, and you can laugh your ass off while we're trying to act this out, okay? And I'm a terrible actor. I can't speak for Ian and Sean, but I'm a terrible actor, so I'm going to suck, okay? And there's a woman character in this that's like a hairdresser / whore. She's one of the 3 characters, and I might get picked for that. And I'm going to have to, like, try to come up with, some whorish voice or something. And you're going to have to, no, you don't. You're not going to have to. You get to watch me, like slip continually on banana peels, because it's going to be terrible for me and great for you, okay? And we're going to do that on this show coming up here sometime soon. We're going to do a live read of the script that you write, okay? But you can only write those lines in the script if you go to tdpn.locals.com, and you can get on there, and you can get on there long enough, 1 month to get on there and write your lines and get off. Now, I know I shouldn't be telling you that, but I want your cooperation. I want the engagement, okay? I want to hear from you. That's more important to me, okay, than not encouraging you to get on for 1 month for free and then get off, okay? Hopefully, I hope you stay on, okay? And it's easy to stay on because it's like $3 a month, okay? $3 a month, okay? I mean, if you can't afford $3 a month.
She's gone from suck to blow.
Exactly, okay? So I can afford $3. If I can afford $3, okay, and I'm a cheapskate, you can definitely afford that, okay? So yeah, let's get that going on. Get on there and get to tdpn.locals.com. Okay, so enough about that. Okay. So moving on with the rest of the machine. Okay, so another part of this that I was found notable with the machine is that there is a actress in this that does a fantastic fantastic job in here. And her name is Eva. Let me get her name here. I just want to make sure that I get that right here. So it's Eva Babic, and she plays the character of Irina, okay? And she is hands down the action superstar of this movie, okay? And you get to see it pretty early in the movie because she kidnaps Bert and Mark Hamill, and she shows she's a badass, and she shows that she could take charge, and she takes charge, but not in a girl boss annoying way, okay? And then in the later action scenes, I think they're in a hotel or apartment building or something like that, and one of her brothers confronts her and is basically you have to presume that he's going to kill her. Well, she's not having that, okay? And then she gets to kick ass, and take names and whatnot, and she is just tearing shit up. I mean, she is just ripping up these bad guys.
Gotcha, bitch.
Exactly. So, and like I said in my spoiler-free review, the makers of the John Wick and the movie Nobody probably have tears in their eyes because there's some good John Wick style action in this. Now, not in the sheer quantities that you see in the John Wick movies. Okay, it's not balls to the wall, nut to butt, like from starting titles to closing titles. It's not that or anything like that. But when the action kicks in, it kicks. Okay, it's a fantastic action there. You got some pretty good gunplay. You got a mix of like some handguns and some automatic weapons and that kind of thing. I think you see some AKs and that kind of thing. And you know what? If you have a problem with that,
be offended.
Yep, exactly. So, but yeah, that's the action is pretty tight. It's pretty fantastic in that. Now, Eva Babic, she's a Croatian actress that I'd never even heard of, but I think that we're going to see her in some other stuff here too, just like Jimmy Tatro here. Now, one other point in this movie is, or about this movie, I should say, is that this is another movie that America loves, or should I say Merica, considering the show run. Merica loves this movie. Okay, so I think let's take a look at the Rotten Tomatoes score on this right now. Let's see here, Rotten Tomatoes. Oh, right. Rotten Tomatoes is kind of like a good gauge here, so let's take a look. See what our rating is for the machine right now. Okay, the machine. Come on, internet, don't fail me now. Yeah, okay. So yeah, we've got here. I'll just show this to you. Let's go right here. Is that? Share screen. All right. Oops, wrong screen. Okay. What's that movie? Okay. Yeah, so as you can see right there, we've got a 22% rating by the critics, who I don't give a fuck about. And there's Merica with 88% audience score right there. Okay, so yeah, I'm not sure. I haven't bothered to read the critics' reviews. Like I said, I don't give a fuck. So, but I imagine that they probably just don't like some of the crude humor in it or something like that. It's one thing I've noticed about critics nowadays is, remember back in the 80s where we had the religious right, okay? And they had the satanic panic, right? And you had the religious right. They're always freaking out about oh my God, Ozzy Osbourne has a brand new album. Hide your kids. It's Satan. Don't let the devil in your home. It's Ozzy Osbourne and Black Sabbath and Twisted Sister. Ah! And, they were all, up in arms about Fatal Attraction and the sex scenes and 9.5 Weeks and that kind of thing. Well, the religious right is gone. They've been replaced, though, by Hollywood critics. Okay, suddenly the Hollywood critics are Tipper Gore and Pat Robertson, and Jimmy Falwell or Jerry Falwell or whatever, whoever it was. Right? Suddenly, all these Hollywood critics that normally are totally okay with all kinds of debauchery, like furries and all kinds of kink and that kind of thing. Suddenly they have problems with raunchy movies like The Machine or The Hangover or that kind of thing. I know The Hangover and Tropic Thunder came out a while ago, but I think that's the vibe I'm getting from the critics, from the scatterings of what I've seen about their reviews, is that they just don't like the raunchy humor. It's scary. It's so offensive. Oh, you're letting the devil in your home. Oh, like mama said the machine is the devil. Okay, they're pulling that shit. Okay, and but as you can see, like I said, Merica loves this movie at 88%. They love it, and that's really who matters. Okay, all right. So the critics can stay in their bubble. America, they love this movie. So that is just one of the other things about the machine that I noticed right there. So, okay, so yeah, that is that right there. And you know what? Hey, I'm getting a little thirsty. How about you? Okay, let's do this. All right, everybody, it's brew review time. Okay, and like I said, I am thirsty. And in this episode for brew review time, I've got a little Lagunitas, a little something. Okay, so it kind of sounds like a '90s R&B song. I want a little something, yo girl. Get your little something, yeah, I know. I'll stop. Let me check live chat here real quick. I think I've been ignoring Trevor here. Unfortunately, that's me slipping. So yeah, Trevor says not to be confused with the machinist or the mechanic. Yeah, the machinist, the Christian Bale movie that he lost a lot of weight with right there, and then the mechanic, which is originally a Charles Bronson movie, and then Jason Statham made a remake of The Mechanic, right? Yes. After he was done with the Transport movies, he did The Mechanic. Yes. But yeah. But back to, hey, Lagunitas, little something right here. So Lagunitas, it's out of Petaluma, California, right there. But don't hold that against it. Okay. And yeah, Lagunitas, little something. It's pretty good. It's got like 7.5% alcohol by volume there. It's just like a simple American ale. And more importantly, it's not Bud Light. It's not made by Anheuser-Busch or anything like that. Okay, and yeah, so it'll kick a little bit for a beer. Okay, again, it's not Casamigos tequila or Maker's Mark or anything like that. Okay, it's beer. Okay, and yeah, you know what? But like I said, I'm getting thirsty, so I'm gonna stop yapping and take a little drinky. Oh yeah. That hits the spot. That definitely hits the spot. Okay. And hey, so I'm going to abbreviate that like the rest of the show. Okay. I'm going to abbreviate brew review time because we got things to do. Let's do it. Alrighty then. Okay. And now back to some other things that I mentioned or that I noticed about this movie. Is some of the politics in this movie are pretty cringe. I mean, to put it mildly, and that's why I'm really surprised why more critics don't like this movie. Because if you listen to like Bert Kreischer interviews, and definitely Mark Hamill interviews, okay, but even Bert Kreischer, every once in a while, he'll kind of slip in something about like how he's pro baby killing and all that stuff, and he's basically gives away his shit. He's a liberal and that kind of thing, and takes shots at Trump and that kind of thing. And so and he's kind of this stereotypical like low information kind of dude when it comes to politics, because Bert Kreischer does not hesitate for a second to admit that he doesn't pay very much attention to politics. Well, yeah, you don't have to tell me twice there, Bert, because that's why you have the takes that you have, the political takes that you have. So you didn't have to tell me that you don't pay attention to politics all that much. And then Mark Hamill, my God, Mark Hamill is like a force of nature of liberalism. He is like one of the ultimate liberal lemmings out there. He's tweeting more than a 12-year-old girl on Twitter about how mad at Trump he is, and he definitely is out there with the beta males like Rob Reiner and others. Who's some of the other dickheads that are out there? The Krasensteins and Mark Ruffalo's and that kind of thing. So it was probably it was inevitable that they were going to kind of try to fit in some of their politics into this movie. And so they throw in some digs at Florida, okay, because that's the thing to do. It's a trendy thing to do when you're a liberal is not know jack shit about Florida, but piss on it regardless and all that stuff. So they don't know anything. They just know that I'm supposed to hate on Florida. And what else am I supposed to do because I'm a liberal? I'm supposed to call it the Don't Say Gay bill. That's right. And I'm supposed, what else am I supposed? Oh yeah, I'm supposed to call him Ron Death Santis. Yeah, so I'm supposed to call it that right there. Is that everything? Is that everything? PR girl? Yeah, is that okay? PR girl that tells me everything about politics that I know and I don't do any research on my own. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, Ron Death Santis. Okay. So yeah, so Kreischer is kind of that kind of guy. Okay. And then so they have some other digs about toxic masculinity. They say like one thing about toxic masculinity in this. So they do kind of ration the politics in this. Okay. I mean, in my movies, I don't want any politics. I don't want conservative politics. I don't want liberal politics. Okay, I don't want it. Okay, just keep that shit out of there. But that's one of the things that I noticed in here. Now you get some mild feminism in this movie just through the Arena character. But it's not that bad. I mean, because I have no problem with a story that involves like a woman like stepping up and excelling, and hey, if she's more qualified than some guys, then she should get the job, right? I mean, in this movie, she's more qualified than her brothers to head up their family, the Russian mafia family. Okay, and if she's more qualified, boom, she should get the job. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of backtrack what I said about the feminism. It's not really a feminism thing in this movie there. Okay. But yeah, that's just one of the other points that I liked about this movie right there. But I think that, yeah, you definitely, if you're watching this movie and you're getting it spoiled for you, I would definitely watch this movie right there. And again, like I said, go watch it in the theater again, at least go pity watch it. Because like I said, it's made $4. Well, okay, it's probably made $5 at the box office by this point. What do we got here? Beers Drinking Trev with a live chat. Mark Hamill, Bill Paxton, 80s movie. Name that movie. Mark Hamill, Bill Paxton, 80s movie. I'm thinking I'm probably just going to start naming off Bill Paxton 80s movies because he was in Commando for a brief second, Terminator, Weird Science. Was he in the Big Red one? The World War I movie. What else would? Because it's probably easier to list off Mark Hamill movies because Mark Hamill hasn't done dick in movies. Well, he's probably done dick, but he hasn't done dick in movies outside of Star Wars. Pretty much without Star Wars, Mark Hamill he ain't shit. Okay. Slipstream. Okay, yeah. And I say Slipstream like I've seen that movie. I've never seen that movie, so and I've never even heard of that movie. So there you go, Trevor. Nice call out there. Absolutely good reference. Slipstream. Yeah. I'm guessing that probably made $4 at the box office too. So because I thought I'd heard of every movie. Okay. Now again, it's probably made $4 at the box office because that Mark Hamill in it. Okay, because. Like I said, Mark Hamill ain't shit without the Star Wars movies. So as you would expect, like after Mark Hamill played Luke Skywalker in Star Wars in 1977, I'm sure Mark Hamill and his agent was like, oh my God, the world is our oyster. There ain't nothing we can't do. Everyone knows you as Luke Skywalker. They love you. You're on Star Wars. All right. So what are we going to do next there? Mark Hamill, you're so awesome. And so Mark Hamill starred in this dud of a movie called Corvette Summer, I think the year or two after Star Wars. And yeah, it just bombed at the box office. And it's because Mark Hamill can't act. He's a fucking shitty actor. Okay. And I'm, even if he didn't have his politics the way that they are, I mean, I know probably don't believe me when I say that, but I would still think he's a shitty actor because he was so wooden as Luke Skywalker. Okay. And I guess it kind of works for the character of Luke Skywalker because Luke Skywalker is just kind of this stilted, wooden kind of, I'm the classic hero, the hero's journey kind of guy. he doesn't have the slick, charisma that a Han Solo does. And so, Mark Hamill, being the total stiff that he is, was perfect to play Luke Skywalker there. Hamill, so Beer Trick and Trev, Hamill plays the bad guy. It's not terrible, but it's awful graphics and just strange storyline. So that was obviously from the 80s. So yeah, I would imagine that, there's movies in the 80s where even the visual effects even suck for the 80s. They're like, Flash Gordon. I mean, that came out in 1980. And even for 1980, the Flash Gordon, special effects sucked ass. Okay. There. But yeah, good call on that, Trevor. So absolutely. All right. So hey, let's move on and let me tell you all about a great product that I feel I'm doing you a favor by letting you know about. Okay. And that product is Nature Clear. Nature Clear. Yeah. Come on, internet. Hurry up, internet. I swear to God, I think I've got, 1997 called and wants its 56K internet back. Okay. So, and I'm saying that to cover up for the fact that I can't press buttons very fast. Okay. But Nature Clear recovery powder is what I want to talk to you about here right now, real quickly. And Nature Clear recovery powder is this handy thing right here. Okay. And what it does is it helps you recover from drinking, and actually, what more to the point, it prevents you from getting a hangover. Okay. So if you take this, if you put this in like 12 ounces of water or like a bottle of water, and take this before you go out, then you can avoid the hangover altogether. Okay. And Sean has said what he does is he'll also throw in like some lemonade Mio in along with the Nature Clear when he puts it into some water to make it even tastier. Okay. So you can take that ahead of time, before you go out there and you have a few too many Cosmos, if you're Mark Hamill, or if you're, you're going to, try to drink up, your favorite bar's supply of tequila. Okay. Just take some Nature Clear ahead of time and you'll be good to go. But you know what? Hey, you know what? Have no fear. Even if you're on your 83rd tequila shot and you realize, oh man, I forgot to take my Nature Clear. Have no fear, everybody. You can take this bad boy when you get home. Okay. And that's going to help you avoid the hangover as well. And also, it helps you recover from smoking and vaping, as well. It's like just basically the all-around Swiss Army knife of recovery. Okay. And so I'm sure right now you're like, oh my God, man, how do I get my hand on this terrific product? Well, just wait. I will tell you more. Jimmy Pardo, tell them what they won. Well, you have won the opportunity to go to the link in the description and go to the Nature Clear website, and then you can just pick out any Nature Clear product that you want, get that into the carts, and then put in promo code movies in the promo code field in the cart. Okay. And you're going to get up to 25% off your next order. Okay. I mean, I'm doing you a salad. I mean, so yeah, get yourself some of this. All the cool kids are doing it. Okay. All right. Cool. All the cool kids. And then me. Oh, I'm doing it too. Okay. So yeah, that is Nature Clear recovery powder. And hey, you know what? Feel free to put some comments, below this episode. After you try the Nature Clear, let us know how it reacted or how it performed for you. Definitely want to hear from you all about that. Okay. All right. Okay, so let's check out our live chats. And again, man, Trevor is putting in some work, I tell you. Ace Ventura 3, Nature Clear that shit. Yeah, it's yeah, Nature Clear. It's you know with the Nature Clear, you can actually avoid that whole part of like the first Ace Ventura, like where he's scrubbing himself down in the shower, and he's got the plunger on his face and all stuff. If you want to avoid that kind of hell on earth, okay, because you've got a massive like diamond splinter hangover, just take your Nature Clear recovery powder, okay, and yeah, you'll be good to go. Okay, all right, so yeah, that's what I have to say about the machine here, and you know what, yeah, if you haven't watched my spoiler-free review of the machine, check that out. If you haven't seen the machine, what are you watching this for? Unless you don't mind getting spoiled. But yeah, definitely go check out the machine. I would definitely do that. Okay. So right now, what I want to do is I want to get into a segment I call the movie military moment. Okay. And what the movie military moment segment is when you watch a war movie, right, you see some really cool war action scenes. Okay. And there is, you know, as you would imagine, for someone in our military to win a Congressional Medal of Honor or a Purple Heart or, you know, a Bronze Star, something like that, they have to do some pretty cool or some pretty intense things to earn that. You know, you have to excel in battle, right? You know, you're gunning down, you know, your enemy. You're throwing grenades. You're falling on a grenade. You're in a plane. You're bombing shit and all that stuff. Just something that if you saw it, you'd be like, "Oh my God!" You know, this should be in a movie, right? And you know, it would qualify to be a movie military moment. Okay, well, so just think of that, and also the fact that, you know, the people in the military are servicemen and women are pretty important to me. Okay. And I appreciate, you know, our service members in the past and current and in the future, all they do to protect our freedoms. Okay. That we unfortunately take all too for granted. Okay. And so I just I wanted to create this segment to just give them the time that they deserve. Okay. And so I've got a Medal of Honor, Congressional Medal of Honor winner for you tonight that I want to let you know about. I want to let the world know about this. And a lot of people in the world probably know about this guy already, but I want to let my Movies Merica spoiler warning audience know all about that. Okay. So you know what? Hey, let's get a little music going, huh? Oh, there we go. Yeah. All right. So, Medal of Honor winner is Francis Sherman Frank Curry, and he fought in World War II. Now, he was an automatic rifleman with the 3rd Platoon, defending a strong point near Malmedy, Belgium, on 21 December 1944, when the enemy launched a powerful attack, overrunning tank destroyers and anti-tank guns located near the strong point. German tanks advanced to the 3rd Platoon's position, and after prolonged fighting, forced the withdrawal of this group to a nearby factory. Sergeant Curry found a bazooka in the building and crossed the street to secure rockets, meanwhile enduring intense fire from enemy tanks and hostile infantrymen who had taken up a position at a house a short distance away. In the face of small arms machine gun fire and artillery fire, he, with a companion, knocked out a tank with one shot. Moving to another position, he observed 3 Germans in the doorway of an enemy-held house. He killed or wounded all 3 with his automatic rifle. He emerged from cover and advanced alone to within 50 yards of the house, intent on wrecking it with rockets. I mean, already this would be a cool movie scene, right? That your eyes would be popping out of your head, right? So, he emerged from cover and advanced alone to within 50 yards of the house, intent on wrecking it with rockets. Covered by friendly fire, he stood erect and fired a shot which knocked down half of one wall. While in this forward position, he observed 5 Americans who had been pinned down for hours by fire from the house and 3 tanks. Realizing that they could not escape until the enemy tank and infantry guns had been silenced, Sergeant Curry crossed the street to a vehicle where he procured an armful of anti-tank grenades. These he launched while under heavy enemy fire, driving tankmen from the vehicles into the house. He then climbed onto a half-track in full view of the Germans and fired a machine gun at the house. Once again, he changed his position. He manned another machine gun whose crew had been killed. Under covering fire, the 5 soldiers were able to retire to safety. Deprived of tanks and with heavy infantry casualties, the enemy was forced to withdraw. Through his extensive knowledge of weapons and by his heroic and repeated braving of murderous heavy fire, Sergeant Curry was greatly responsible for inflicting heavy losses in men and material on the enemy, for rescuing 5 comrades, 2 of whom were wounded, and for stemming an attack which threatened to flank his battalion's position. Yes, that is this episode's Congressional Medal of Honor winner, one Francis Sherman Frank Curry. Give it up for Frank, okay? Yeah, so, and as I always say, what have you done with your day, okay? And I bounce that question right back to me, okay? I mean, did you hear that shit that he did? I imagine that if you film that scene, I mean, I was going to say it's probably pretty expensive, but I mean, that would have been what, explosives, explosions, and gunfire, and he's lobbing bazooka rockets and shit. He's changing positions, that kind of thing. That is badass. That's seriously fucking badass, I tell you. Beer drinking Trev, he stood erect. Oh, yeah. He stood erect. He probably saw like some fine Fraulein, and he stood erect, and that fired him up to kick some serious ass, okay? Maybe there was a like a very fine Fraulein, and she was like standing in some window. She's like, "My hero," and that got old Frank all fired up and amped up to take out some bad guys right there. So now that you would have to throw in the scene, okay? But maybe we shouldn't make it a Fraulein. Maybe we should make it like some super hot American smoke show, there, something like that. Some Jessica Alba looking hottie standing there urging Frank on, okay? So, but enough of that. See, now I'm spoiling this movie, military. We had a nice moment, and then I had to spoil it, okay? It's just not right. It's I'm always doing that, always doing that.
She's gone from suck to blow.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's all me. I apologize, folks. I apologize. That is all me, okay? But Trevor, when you're right, you're right. He did stand erect, okay? All right. So, well, and as you guys may have noticed last week, we had no Movies America spoiler warning episode, and that was because yours truly was on vacation, or vacay, as I say now. But I'm an adult. I'm gonna call it vacation, okay? And so I wanted to just kind of show you what I was doing briefly. Instead of cooking and slaving over a hot Movies America spoiler warning stove for you, okay? And I say that jokingly because I actually love doing this for you. This is fun. I have a great time doing this and being here with you guys, okay? But Beer Drinking Trev, I think you should do the story of the Punisher, Frank Castle, in the same format of the military segment. Food for thought. So now, should I do the Thomas Jane, like, was it 2004, that Punisher, that one right there, or just like, let's look up the Punisher, the comic book, something like that, just like the original, that story. Let me know there, Trevor. So sounds like I may have some options right there, but that'd be pretty cool. I would highly recommend watching the Punisher series on Netflix. It's one of the few things that's good on Netflix, right there with John Bernthal. Okay. All right. So yeah, vacation. Okay. All right. And so yeah, I got some video here. Let's check out some videos. And so just to let you know, so my parents, my mom and dad, and my brother Dabin came on down, and we went on down to Texas Hill Country, which is pretty much like the German part of Texas, okay? We were just talking about Frauleins and killing Germans. Well, we have good Germans here in Texas, and they tend to, they created the Texas Hill Country, so the German part of Texas that we affectionately call Hill Country. And so that was some cool scenery down there, kind of mountainous, kind of arid, dry kind of environment, that kind of thing. So a lot of scenery, I guess, is what I'm trying to stammer out, okay? But we also went to San Antonio, which is like a little over an hour away from there. And we got a chance to check out some cool stuff. So yeah, let me show you this here right there. All right, so let's get on in here.
Featured in the movie, this continues on the bullet when we pass on the right the interview.
Okay, so just to give you some context of what this is the Riverwalk in San Antonio, and maybe a lot of you have been here to the Riverwalk in San Antonio. But it's a very cool place to go, very chill. If you just go there, just get on one of these boats and you just go up and down the Riverwalk and just chill out and get some good information about the history of San Antonio and that kind of thing. But this is just like one portion of the Riverwalk right here. Oh yeah. So as you can see, it's a party place. Okay. So the Riverwalk, it's just a fantastic place to check out and whatnot. And again, I'm not on the San Antonio Board of Tourism or anything like that. Okay. So, but game recognizes game. Okay. And it's a good place to go there, just kick fucking back and have a beer or a margarita or whatever and that kind of thing. All right, so let's check out here some other stuff here. Okay, so we got let's check out this Riverwalk video. All right, probably would help if I hit a button.
Chops Block Terra number 1, North Star number 2, River Serpent number 3.
Okay, so like I said, this is another part of the Riverwalk, and so this is the River Center. So this is like a shopping mall that's on the Riverwalk, as you can see here.
Now inside this mall here for the kids, there's a Legoland, a Sea Life exhibit, 2 movie theaters. There is also an air gymnasium, rock climbing walls, and more. For you adults that want to...
All right, so, and if I'd gone a little further here, you might be able to see it. No, I don't think you can see it there, but there's a Fat Tuesdays over here. And then further over here to the left part of the screen, if I had kept on recording there, there's a Jimmy Buffett Margaritaville there. Yeah, so like I said, good place to party, all right? And get yourself a margarita there. Okay, what else we got? So let's load up some more. Yeah, okay, let's do this. All right.
Chops Block and Terra number 1, North Star number 2.
Yep, that's the same video right there. Whoops, well-oiled machine here. Well-oiled machine. For show. Okay, so let's get out of there. And let's check it out. Okay, all right. And let's see here. Let's try this here. I'm going to show you this, which I thought was pretty cool. All right. So what this is a restaurant called Mi Tierra, which means my land in Spanish, in what's called El Mercado, or the marketplace in San Antonio. So I just thought this place is just a really cool interior. It's got pretty good grub and that kind of thing. Now, right in this room, and I guess in the whole restaurant, they have a mariachi band that comes in every once in a while. You can get them to play, whatever you want them to play, that kind of thing. No Antonio Banderas, though, in this mariachi band. So, yeah, there's no gunplay, okay, in this right here. All right, so that is Mi Tierra, okay, but, good margaritas, too. Fantastic margs. What else we got here? Let's check this out. Hopefully you guys aren't like, oh, my God, when's he going to stop? Okay. Oh, yeah. Here's another cool place to check out in San Antonio. Okay. So this is, I believe this is the Pearl Brewery is what this is. And this is in a historic district called the Pearl District. It's like a little bit north of downtown San Antonio. And it's one of those parts of town that you see in other big cities or other towns where it's like an old part of town with a bunch of old ass buildings and that kind of thing. And then some developers come in and they hollow out these old factories and foundries and warehouses and stuff. And they turn them into something cool. And this is the Pearl Brewery in the Pearl District. All right. So, yeah, that is the Pearl Brewery. another reason to check out San Antonio there. And since I was in San Antonio, as some of you may know, that is the home of what was formerly called Lackland Air Force Base. I think it's called like JAB, like Joint Air Base Lackland now. And anybody who's in the Air Force or knows anything about the Air Force knows that Lackland is where Air Force basic training is at, okay? And yours truly was in the Air Force. And don't give me any chair force jokes or air farce jokes. Heard them all before, okay? And so since I was in Lackland and my brother Davin was with me, and he also served in the Air Force and went to basic training there at Lackland, he was able to get us back on base because he's got like the ID that you need to get on there. I have like this old ass military ID from like the early 90s that the guards at the gate shack would probably laugh at, like, ha ha, you think you're getting on our base with that? Get out of here. But he had the right ID, I believe. So he was able to get us on Lackland. And so, yeah, let me show you a little bit of basic training history here. Right. Okay. So obviously, as I said, we're on Lackland right here. And this is just like, I think Military Drive is what road is called. It's like pretty much runs right through the middle of Lackland here. All right, here we are on Lackland. I was going to say Lackland Air Force Base, but it's what, Lackland JAB now? There, yep. Okay. So these buildings right here, so at least up until like a little while from now, these are the buildings where if you're a basic trainee, these are buildings where you live, okay? And right underneath here, underneath the building there, the main part of the building, that hollowed out area, that's what we call the overhang. And so the first night you go to basic training, at least in Air Force basic training, they basically kick you off a bus and you have to go into this overhang area there. And any kind of luggage you have, they make you drop it. They're like, drop it, pick it up, drop it, pick it up, drop it, pick it up. And you have to basically just do that, over and over again. And that's just the way, that's just the military technical instructor, or lack of a better term, drill instructor. That's how they fuck with you. It'll let you know what you're in for the next few weeks, okay? And so that's so this is your home if you're a basic trainee. Let's now move forward here. So that's a little closer look at the buildings where is your not so sweet home. All right, let's go here a little further. Okay. So this building right here, let me advance that a little bit. Right up in there, yeah, right in those double doors. Okay, so that building right there, that is like that's like a rec center. That was a rec center back in the day where you could go and you could, play video games or pool or ping pong and that kind of thing. And they even had like rooms upstairs where you had like a drum set in one room and a guitar in the other and whatever, in another room where you could play musical instruments and that kind of thing. And at the bottom level here is where I think they had like an ice cream shop in there, and they had a jukebox. And that jukebox that they had in there is where I heard the song "Enter Sandman" by Metallica for the very first time. Okay, because that song came out, it was a hit like 1991. So obviously it tells you I was in basic training in 1991. And so that's what this building will always mean to me is, hey, it's the first place I heard Enter Sandman by Metallica. Yeah, okay. Fascinating, I know. It's a jukebox where mini exchange, I guess. Okay. That brown building, like immediately right in front of us right there, that's like the administrative building. So that's like where you go, like the first full day that you're there at basic training, or the second full day, whatever, I can't remember. But that's a building you go into. You got to fill out a bunch of paperwork and all that kind of stuff. And that's a part of basic training. That's where a location right about the time where you're like, oh, fuck, what did I just do? What did I do? What did I get myself into here with basic training? My God, why did I decide to do this? Okay. Because, you have like 6 or 8 weeks left of this and that kind of thing. And up here on the right is the former little shop at Exchange mini mall. Yeah, a little mini mall. You have to stand right here in formation and wait your turn to go in to grab all your toiletries, your toothbrushes, your shampoo, all that stuff. Yeah. So yeah, you like your first or second full day there. Yeah, you have to go there to get all your stuff. That you're going to obviously use for the next 6 or 8 weeks, that kind of thing. And it's kind of surreal because you're in basic training and you're not going to be out in the real world. You're not going to be a free man or free woman. You're pretty much going to have like your drill instructor's boot on your throat for the next 6 to 8 weeks. But then you go into this mini exchange. It's basically just like a convenience store, and you get to go in there and you're like all this stuff that reminds you of the outside world, the world outside of basic training. And it's kind of surreal because back in the day, they had like CDs and that kind of thing in there. So you're like walking through there like, oh, there's the soundtrack to New Jack City. And there's that Color Me Bad CD. And there's that Robin Hood soundtrack. And I won't be able to listen to those, for the next few weeks, and so it's kind of surreal from that standpoint. But so it was kind of cool to kind of, take a little trip down memory lane in basic training and whatnot. And I'm fully aware that Air Force basic training isn't the same as Marine boot camp or Army or Navy. I am the first one to admit that. Okay. So, but interestingly enough, though, before I even got in the Air Force, you have to, be physically qualified, physically and academically and mentally qualified or all that stuff. Right. And so you have to go to this thing called MEPS, in your state, wherever you're from. And part of MEPS is they have to test you to see if you're strong enough to be in the military, right? And so for me, they had you do this chest press, right? The good old chest press that you do, and the on the weights there. So I think like the least amount of weight that they had on there is what you had to lift to join the Marines, to qualify for the Marines, and then the most weight was for qualifying for the Air Force. So I thought that was kind of hilarious. I'm like, wait, what? So I only have to be able to lift like 40 pounds to be in the Marines, but I have to chest press like 80 pounds to be in the Air Force. Okay. All right. So yeah, but I thought that was kind of curious right there. But yeah, so that's my tour there in basic training. Okay. So let's see what other goodies we have for you here. I think that might have been the last one. Yeah. So yeah, you get to breathe a sigh of relief. Okay. So yeah, that's what I was doing. Instead of being here last week to go over what I would have gone over Fast X with you. That would have been the movie for last week. But I spared you Fast X. Okay. I saw Fast X and yeah, I'm sparing you that. I can confidently say that from that. Okay. All right, let's check out some live chats here. We got Trevor still putting in some honorable work here. He said he's not seeing Lizzo on flute. Yeah. Lizzo, the most beautiful woman in the world. Okay. And like I always say, if she's so fat and beautiful, why do women get pissed off at me when I say, hey, you're beautiful, just like Lizzo? Why do they get mad? I don't get that. Okay. We'll tug off this bad boy. I got to give me a little something, something. All right. Little beverage for the working man there. Okay. Where were we here? Okay, so let's and Beer Drinker Trev says that Thomas Jane do a movie military moment type segment, but over the story of the Punisher, and use the Punisher story from the Thomas Jane Punisher movie. So, all right, food for thought. There we go. All right. Got the old hamster wheel spinning up in here. So, okay. All right, let's keep it rolling. All right, so.
Try to relax your anus.
Yes. Okay, let's do this. And as I wrap up this episode, I just want to remind you that you can find audio-only episodes of my spoiler-free reviews at www.moviesmerica.com on Al Gore's worldwide interweb. And so that's, if you don't want to check out my mug, when you watch my reviews, you can just listen to them on moviesmerica.com, or you can listen to them like on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify. any place you imagine would have podcast, you'll find the podcast of Movies America there, okay? And what do we got here? I'm on socials. I'm on the social medias. If all the young whippersnappers use Twitter and Instagram and Facebook, and I'm there at Movies America is my handle as well. So check me out there. That's a pretty good place to go to if you want to see, get the links to my Movies America spoiler warning shows that come out obviously on Thursday nights, or if you want to see the latest episodes of my spoiler-free episodes on Sundays. Okay, so you can go there and check out that. Okay, and tdpn.locals.com, like it says up at the top, and like I told you about earlier, definitely check that out. Oh man, also we have at Til Death Network at solo.to/Til Death Pod Network. Okay, and that's where you can get all the links that have anything to do with the Til Death Podcast Network there. So instead of having to hunt around all over the web for anything Til Death Podcast Network related, you can just go right here and click on the links to see what you want to see. Okay, and moving on, solo.to/Til Death Studios. That's where you can go if you want to have Ian, do any kind of visual work there for you, like graphics and that kind of thing, kind of like the solo.to/Til Death Studios, overlay that you see there, or up at the very top, the overlay that you see there with my logos and the tdpn.locals.com, or the intros that you saw. Ian will create things like that for you if you want to, start up your own show on social media, that kind of thing. He does fantastic work, obviously, as you can see, and he is available to do that for you. So hit him up at solo.to/Til Death Studios. Okay, and we got solo.to/I'm Sean Cav to check out any links that has to do with Sean here on the Til Death Podcast Network. He's got his Sipping with Sean show on every other Friday, I believe. And he is the co-host with the Whiskey Capitalist podcast, along with Ian, every Monday and Wednesday. Okay, right there. But this solo.to/I'm Sean Cav is where you can get all Sean Cav links all in one spot. Same principle with solo.to/the Whiskey Capitalist. This is where all the Whiskey Capitalist links can be found, all at your fingertips, all in one location. And we, last but not least, we got the solo.to/Til Death Podcast location right there, where you can get all your Til Death Podcast related links. And the Til Death Podcast is a show that Ian and his lovely wife, Jen, do every other Saturday afternoon. For late afternoon for us in the Central Time Zone, and I think early afternoon for them. I believe if I'm doing time zones correctly. Okay, there. So check out all those right there. You're not hurting for information. I just went over all that stuff right there. Absolutely. Okay. All right. So let's continue with wrapping up this episode here. And I think that is about going to do it. All right. So, hey, everybody, as I always say, let me get that off there. Right there. I was about to make that same mistake again that I always make. I leave like some overlay down there. I know I'm explaining to you how the sausage is made, and it's boring you right now. Exactly. So, all right. But hey, with that, everybody, get out there. Those movies aren't going to watch themselves. See ya.
made the video quite yet. Okay, I've got the popo. They're coming after me, and I don't have much time to tell you, but you need to like and subscribe this video right here, down below. It's right down there. It's just waiting. It's waiting for you down there, okay? And make sure you watch these videos over here too. You'll be doing me a big favor. I'm gonna be in handcuffs pretty soon. All right. Thanks for watching.